Hello and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and go beyond. I'm your host. I'm Renee. Looks like the co-host just woke up and is ready to go. This is Raina, and her snack for the video will be Milkbone Minis. So what we're going to talk about today is we are going to talk about my reading wrap-up for the month of May. As I'm recording this, it is nearly the last day of May, so we got to do the wrap-up here. Now, let's just jump right into it. My first finish for the month was another Stephen King book. I've been kind of on a binge lately, getting caught up with some of his books that I had not read previously. And so this one is the Tommyknockers, one of his older books. It was published in 1987. I enjoyed this book, basically, although I felt it was a little bit too long. It's like 900 pages or something like that. It could be shortened, and I think, in the end would probably be a better read because of it. But otherwise, yeah, it was good. I do have a full review of it as a banned book. It was my 12th banned book of the year. I put that video out in May, and I will link it in the description. So my next finish was Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit, and this is by Jeannette Wilkerson. This is an interesting read. This is a coming-of-age story about a young lady who is brought up in an evangelical household, and she finds that she is attracted to other women. Now, this causes some havoc in her family, as you can imagine. Some parts of the book are very funny, some are very sad, and I read this as a banned book, let's say. However, I'm not going to do a full review of it for a couple of reasons. Number one, I really can't find that much information on the bans and challenges to this book. I know there have been some, but I cannot find the specifics on them. It's definitely not one of the top banned books here in the US, at least. So I wouldn't have that much to say about it, except that, it was banned because it has that mix of sexuality and religion. I can tell you that it is not sexually graphic. It does cause, the events in the book do cause the young lady in the book to kind of question her religion as it was told to her in the household that she was brought up in. And oftentimes that alone is enough to cause challenges and bans to a particular book. So also, the other reason why I don't want to do a full review of it is that I read it in just a few days, and they were a few days just before I left for my trip. And I don't feel like I gave the book the attention that I should have to be able to review it in that same way that I have a lot of the other banned books that I've read. So suffice to say, I liked it. It is the 13th banned book that I've read this year, and I would definitely read this book again to see if I can get a little more out of it this time, or read another book by the same author. I'm told that some of her others are very good. So yeah, Jeannette Wilkerson. Next was one of my favorite authors, always a favorite of mine, and that is Patricia Cornwell. This is her newest to be released in the K. Scarpetta series. This is Identity Unknown. Now, I do love this series. These are my old friends. These characters are like old friends. But I must say that to some extent, these books are becoming somewhat repetitive. I'll probably always read them. But they definitely are not as exciting as the first dozen or so books in the series. We are right now at book 28. This is book 28. Book 29 comes out in October of 2025. That one will be called Sharp Force. And I think maybe the past 6 or so of the books make a nice grouping, including this one, if you're interested in kind of jumping in. Some people have mentioned that in the comments. I would say starting with the one called Dust and then making your way down from there would make a nice grouping together. But individually, maybe not quite so much. They just are not as powerful as, like I say, the first 10 or 12 books to come out in the Kay Scarpetta series. But that's all okay, because I have found a new author that I'm in love with. And that is Alex North. This book is incredible. It's called The Man Made of Smoke. It was my Book of the Month choice for May. It is a new release as of May 13th, and it is unbelievably good. It's a gripping thriller. It is a real page turner. It's a very emotional book, and I have a full review out on this, and I will link it in the description so that you can learn more if you are interested. Good stuff. And now finally, I am just finishing up the book My Friends by Fredrik Backman. Almost done there. Probably finished today. This was an add-on for me from Book of the Month. I plan on doing a full review of this, and I will post it soon. So I'm not going to say much about this either. But it's also a new release as of May 6th. And it's a Backman, so do you think I'm liking it? Okay, so that's it. That's May in a nutshell. 5 books. Quite a stack with the thick one there. So not bad. And soon we'll be talking about June. I have a buddy read coming up, and I think I might do something a little bit different for June with my TBR. Yeah, we'll see. I'm kind of kicking around some different ideas. And one more thing before I sign off. Several people commented on my t-shirt one other time when I was wearing it. It does have banned books on it and says, "I'm with the band." And this shirt could actually be my TBR because it has To Kill a Mockingbird. That was one I read last year. The Kite Runner, I have not read, but I have it around here. I've seen the movie. Forever by Judy Blume. Don't believe I've read that one. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Stay tuned on that one. Of Mice and Men, I've read many times in my life. Read it last year as a banned book. J.D. Salinger, I've read many times. Catcher in the Rye. This one is Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. Read that last year as a banned book. The Handmaid's Tale, I have here, haven't read. Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, I have around here, haven't read. The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, I did listen to as an audiobook several years ago, and now I have a copy here that I probably will read as a banned book soon. And A Wrinkle in Time, I also have here, but have not read. So they will be on TBRs in the future, near future, soon. So that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I want to thank you so much for watching. We're going to do one more snack for the road as we do. And have a great day.